Hey, welcome back. I hope you really enjoyed my last end of round 3 analysis because wow, did we do good. So here we go. I'm going to get into my changes going into round 4. I'm going to do the brief overview like I normally do, and then I'll go back to the beginning and get into the weeds of things. So, I'm sorry, they're mowing the grass outside. Here we go. Baker. We're actually increasing the performance and lowering the size past the expected rates so that we can let our product age a little bit, but I'll get into more of that later. Bead, still waiting for it to finish. Bid, catching up there. Bold, performance, just increasing. Size, doing the same thing. This is our new low end. Don't need to change it yet till around at least 6 or 7. New traditional, still needs to age up a little bit more. We need to get that to 2 years. And new high end. So we're not going to produce too much because it's not going to drop until September 16. Marketing, minor changes. Low end, some changes there too. High end, all right, increasing that sales budget so we can get some more accessibility. Trying to get everything as close to 100% as possible without spending too much and getting diminishing returns. Performance, size, new low, new traditional, new high end. So this is all brand new here. And forecast really low because, again, it comes out in September. Production. Traditional. We just got a lot of inventory on hand. Bead. Or low. This is our high. Performance. Size. New low. New traditional. New high. TQM. Maxing out everything that says material cost. So, and R&D. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And you can only do a max of 5 million over the course of the game before you hit such diminishing returns that putting any more money past 5 million is not that good. So we're just going to do the material costs, and if we want to do increasing demand, then we'll increase it later. But right now we don't have the capacity, so we'll get into more of that later. Human resources. I thought this was also 5 million, but apparently I still get some pretty good returns on increasing or decreasing our cycle time. And this 1 million will get us to 5 million in these other two categories. So we'll actually get to 6 million total here in scientists. Okay, so let's go to finance actually. We're actually increasing our accounts receivable by 41 days. That will increase demand. We're borrowing money. So we can still stay within above 1.5 leverage, below 2.5 leverage, and get that green check. Issuing stock, just because our stock price has gone up so high, it's good. So we're going to get some stock, close with 10 million. You can close with as little as 5 million, that'll be fine. And up to 15 is fine too. So we're right in the middle, right in the sweet zone. But again, usually the actual closing cash position, as long as you don't get hammered by your opponents or some bad things happen, usually this is a lower estimate. Okay, so let's get into the weeds. This is our traditional. We want to actually go past the center here in traditional. So that we can give it some time to age. So next round I don't actually want to touch it, but the round after then we'll actually revise it again. So we just need to put some age on it. That's why we're increasing it past the positioning points here. You can tell it's going to go past the center there. And these blue areas is the most ideal spot within that segment. And traditional is always in the center. It's the only one that's actually in the center. Everyone else is either ahead or lagging. Bead, can't do anything with that right now because it's gonna finish next year in May, which is fine. So by the time it moves out the segment, it'll pop up right back into it. High end. Use customer buying criteria. We are just keeping up. So even we're going all the way to August. The rule of thumb is June or July, but we can't really do that because we're just keeping up. Okay. This would be December if it wasn't for all the TQM and HR initiatives to try and get that date down. Bold. Performance. As you can tell, we're doing more than keeping up on this one and still staying within July. So that is good. And then we can continuously reduce our revision dates if we stay ahead. So next year our revision date might be something like June because we don't have to go as far. But we're going to go a little farther again, right? TQM will also continuously reduce the times as well. Buddy, which is size. We're increasing performance past what we actually need and reducing size past what we need. Same reason why we're doing that with bold. New low. Excuse me. This one we're going to. It's actually the exact same stats as our. Well, almost exact same stats as our low end here, and when it's time to adjust this low end, we will adjust this one, vice versa, in round 6 or 7. New traditional. We're trying to put some age on it, and new high. So very much higher than the actual positionings, so that when it actually drops in September of this year, it'll be in the blue part of the 6th segment, not be behind. Okay, marketing. Let's get into the weeds on this one here. Reducing by another 50 cents. Trying to stay competitive on price. We don't need to. We're going to stay at 1400. That's enough to keep it at 100. Without overspending, because you can't get above 100, and without underspending so that it won't reduce. Our forecast is going down a little bit, and at this point we'll actually go over the forecasts. So, excuse me. The market size grew up to 8 million units, and if we are going to get 24%, our worst case scenario is 2 million. 2.1 million, and that's exactly what we put. This area should be worst case scenario. The last round, I kind of had it between worst and middle, but normally you always want it at worst, so I've kept it at worst for this one. Okay, bead. It's way above 3.6, so we just have to keep maxing it out. Bid, we're actually increasing this one a little bit. We did okay last round. Bold. It's actually way higher than so let me pull it up. Performance. So our worst case is 2.2. We're only at 1.3. So with the best case scenario of 2.6. So we're pretty far behind in capacity for that. But it's just our opponents have just dropped the ball so hard. That's the only reason why it's like that. Otherwise, we're way ahead of schedule of where I thought it would be. But since other competitors are completely dropping out, you don't know until after they drop out. So there's really no way to get ahead of that, especially when you have the capped spending amount on production. Buddy, same thing with these guys. Reducing 50 cents again, right? Because it's 33 bucks. You could charge more. Like this one here in performance, we could charge more money, but I don't want to give good reasons for our competitors to max out, right? Because what's happening right now is that since we can't produce enough, sales are going to other people's products in other segments or going unpurchased because there's total stock out. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a good argument for having higher than the expectation price. And when I talk to my group, maybe we'll actually do that exact thing, and you'll see in the round 4 analysis what exactly happens. Where we at? New low, so reducing by another 50 cents, maxing that out. Reducing the promo budget. Do I want to do that? Yeah, we're not going to reduce the promo budget. I think that's accessibility I was looking to reduce. Yeah, we'll just actually keep that there. Won't change anything. And there's a, look at that. When you go back to awareness, the graph's gone. Ah, great program. New traditional lowered by 50 cents. We're already at 100% accessibility in traditional, so we just need to sustain, not see what happens when we reduce it completely. Yeah, so we need to sustain. And here's our new, sorry, I got a text. This is our new high end. 300 forecast, because it is going to drop in September, like I said. So we don't want to, otherwise I would have it at a 600, so I'm just dropping that down. Production, here we go. 21, I have a lot of inventory on hand, so we're actually going to produce less, and then if we get the plant utilization at 100%, we'll have like really cool margins. So yeah, I'm just going to reduce that by a little bit. I know that reduces labor force by separating employees and having costs and all that, but honestly, having this much of inventory on hand is not good, and we don't want to add to it. So really don't. If we increase this to 21, okay, I'll have fewer separated employees. But it is what it is. I'd rather separate some employees and just spend all that money on inventory costs is pretty big, I think. Bead. Just maxing that out. We're going from 18 to 27 though, guys. That's huge. That's 900 capacity, or 1,800 more units. So that might be as much as we ever need. So we're going to be able to, because we can also reduce the price by a lot. If we reduce that price, we can get up like 80% market share and just sell the entire market. Because I mean, my goodness, 27 times 2. I mean, we're going to have what, 50 over 50,000 or 5.2 or 5.4 units, just massive. It's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be like, it's not enough actually. We need more, but we're kind of maxed out on how much we can spend. Yeah. Max investments. Could I even increase it by a little bit? Can't do that. Reduce it. Yeah, can't do too much. High end, we're going to keep capacity at the same. And increase automation. We want to get the 5 automation on this at some point. But this, we're definitely increasing our automations from 3 to 5. There's no reason to tier it from 3 to 4 than 4 to 5, because we're just making so much. There's just no reason not to bring it all the way up. Same thing with size. Yeah. Boat. So new low. Increasing production here just a little bit, just a tad, because again, we do want more in bead, but we'll have some in boat too. Best. Another standard, we're going from 7 to 8, and I think 8 is where I want to stop at traditional. I don't think I really need more than that, because at that point I'd rather spend just more money increasing capacities. And then buzz. 3 to 4, and I think we might go from 4 to 5, especially on bid. These are our high ends. increasing a little bit more. I don't mind stocking out or having a little extra in inventory. It won't be too much because we're doing some pretty small numbers. And this is the production after adjustment. So we're going to be producing less than 350. So not really too worried. Yeah. Okay. Finance. I think I kind of already said some stuff about finance. I think I said enough about finance already. There's not much more to get into the weeds there. Let's just do human resources first. Yeah, I think I already talked about this, so we'll just move on. Let me show you actually what happens when you change it from 1 million to 2 million here. So watch training assembly and put your eyes here and cumulative impacts. Okay, did you miss that? Let me do it again. Oops. Okay. So productivity index and production after adjustment changed. Right? From 12.5 to 15. It's just, I don't think that there's enough return to do that. I think we'll just keep it at 1 million. Save some money. And scientists, alright, R&D cycle time. We definitely want to max that out. TQM. Ooh, excuse me. Reductions in material costs. Yeah. Reduce material costs. Margin expansion. And we're producing so much stuff now that the $2 million thing is totally fine. We'll go to finance here. 10.194. Okay. TQM. Let's see what happens when we don't spend the $2 million on this. $10.6. So as you can tell, it's a difference of what, $500,000. But the cumulative impact will be tremendous over time. So we definitely want to make sure we're spending some money there. Okay. It's also good for a balanced scorecard as well. JIT, reduction in material and admin costs. Put nothing in here because that's reduction in labor costs. Put nothing in here because that increases demand. We don't have enough capacity, so there's no point in increasing demand by too much. We're already increasing demand here on our policy lag. So concurrent engineering, of course, we want to increase R&D cycle time or reduce cycle time. We have nothing in this because it's just increases demand. It'll increase demand by 1%. So yeah, not good. Reduce administration costs. Nothing there. This also reduces cycle time and increases demand. I don't think we need quite as much. So if I go from 0 to 2 million, look at the cycle time, 43.3, 51. So I don't know if I want to spend another 2 million on doing that. So yeah, let's look what happened to finance. Yeah. What is the other thing that it does? Increasing demand. Yeah, I don't want to do anything about increasing demand. We just quite literally can't produce enough anyways. Six Sigma. Move my screen out of the way. Reduce labor and material costs. It's really good. And TQM. Reduce labor costs. I'm sorry, I can't see. And some reduction in labor and reduces material. So we definitely like those. Reducing labors and material at the same time. Very good. Total expenditure, we're spending $10 million on all these initiatives. So yeah. Okay. And I think that's all I got to show. It's been another 20-minute video, and that's what we're going to do. And we are absolutely dominating the markets. So if you haven't seen the analysis video, I mean, we're at 31.6%. That's really good. We are crushing it. I would hate to be any other team. So yeah. Can't wait to do the analysis of this. Have a good one. Bye-bye.